had to make sure I was reading this right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. It says here, defense requests mistrial. Judge says no. Okay, I'm just a little confused on what the hell happened. I'm trying to follow. I'm trying to follow as best as I can. A lot of this stuff is coming out fast, man. Just trying to play catch up, but appreciate y'all coming over. I'm gonna check this video out. Hopefully they don't say nothing too crazy, but we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Live look outside the federal courthouse there in Manhattan, where testimony continues right now in the Sean Diddy Combs picking trial. And take a look at your screen, because yes, earlier today, one of Sean Diddy Combs's defense attorneys requested a mistrial. So I want to get you the very latest. This after a witness revealed fingerprints connected to the alleged break-in at Kid Cudi's Hollywood Hills house had been destroyed. This is according to TMZ. An arson investigator was testifying about the Molotov cocktail thrown into Kid Cudi's car back in January of 2012. Prosecutors believe the device was thrown at the behest of Diddy in a rage over his then girlfriend, Cassie. Now, Cassie and Diddy.
Now, we had already talked about, like, in some situations, you know, Diddy's not going to get his hands dirty. That's when they're talking about like the RICO, where, you know, you have people who could possibly be involved. I'm just trying to think in 2012 how advanced the cameras were. Because, you know, they were saying something about some fingerprints or something. And I was just like, I know, what's her name? Capricorn Clark testified that she went with Diddy over there to approach Kid Cudi. And Diddy said, you know, we were going to do you know what to him. So I was thinking in my head, because I know they mentioned something about a female or something. So I'm like, I don't know if he had her thought about. I don't know. But yeah.
Were taking a break, and she started dating Kid Cudi at the time. So the arson investigator testified that his unit had recovered fingerprints on the bottle used for the firearm, the fingerprints from an unknown woman. The investigator then testified Kid Cudi had given his unit fingerprint cards from a December 2011 burglary at his home, which was a burglary that Diddy was allegedly present at. So this is the very latest. The investigator revealed those fingerprint cards Cudi had given them were destroyed in 2012 by the LAPD. That is when the defense jumped on it, not surprisingly, claiming that it could be evidence if the fingerprints at the burglary did not match the fingerprints at the arson scene. The defense arguing the prosecution knew the insinuation would prejudice the defense's case, but then proceeded anyway. The jury was then sent out of the courtroom. That is when one of Diddy's defense attorneys said the feds were, quote, trying to plant the idea with these jurors that Mr. Combs had something to do with the destruction of these fingerprints. The judge, though, rejected that claim and denied the motion for a mistrial. And you are joining us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm Stephanie Quinn, as we cover every single step of the Combs' sex trafficking trial. I did want to get back to this live look right here outside the federal courthouse. You can see that there's a QR code right there on your screen. If you want to watch continuous coverage of every single development, every twist and turn, we invite you to scan that QR code right there. Mike Page is actually hosting a YouTube stream, as we have done since testimony began, and you can just scan that QR code for the very latest. They did return from a lunch break right now, so the latest is that the judge denied that mistrial request for Combs after jurors heard about the missing fingerprint evidence connected to Kid Cudi's December 2011 home break-in right there. Was on the stand, a celebrity stylist. She was giving some testimony testimony that was put on hold for a lunch break, but that testimony continuing now that the trial has resumed. Any new developments, you can count on Live Now from Fox to bring you the very latest.
I will say this. A lot of people that are testifying, it seems like Diddy was being ultra aggressive in front of them. Meaning like he never thought this day would come, felt invincible, wanted to really put fear in them and show people how powerful he was. So it's almost like he didn't hold back. Because there's so many people saying like they witnessed what he did to Cassie. Like we saw what he did at the hotel. But what they're testifying was even worse than what we seen. Right? So it's like he wants to show people how powerful he is, wants people to fear him, so they'll do anything that he says. And then you get the whole threatening of ruining your career. Nobody's going to want to work with you, this and this and that and that. I'll just say allegedly. But you got to think of the whole power structure. Like, you got his security team. You got like these grown big old men that are watching him do these things to women, and they're not intervening. Think of the intervening. Think about how weak you got to be to witness that stuff. So my whole thing is like, right now, I think it's getting so bad for him. And I talked about how a lot more of the charges are going to start to come out this week. And now we're seeing that, and it just seems like they're just trying to throw stuff at the wall. I'm going to just be honest, man. I don't know if the jury is going to be able to look past, because I know it hasn't been a lot of things, that he has been charged for. They're starting to come out little by little. But I'm just saying, with the domestic stuff and the power and the just intimidating and putting fear in people, I don't know if they're going to look past that. But again, more stuff is going to come out as more people testify. It's getting real bad right now. Real bad. And I mean, people are just starting to pop out, man, as far as testifying. So, yeah. Them trying to do a mistrial and the judge just like, nah, bro. I just want to look at some of the comments here. Let's be real here. Nobody is surprised this happened. A mistrial for what? He going to jail. Let me see. He gets off with a slap on the wrist and time served. Let me see. They're mentioning other people. That's what I'm trying to see, is what other big names are going to be brought into this. If we'll see. But again, I appreciate y'all watching these videos. I know it's a lot. I'm just trying to keep up with this stuff, man. I feel like this is very important, because it's going to be a big shift. I'm telling you. You can kind of feel it happening already, but it's going to be a big shift in like the whole music and entertainment, like, yeah. A lot of people are coming out to testify, man. Gonna see who's next. All right, peace out.